The Best 10 Wild West Movies. Did you know that the Wild Bunch movie was recognized of its historical and cultural significance by the National Film Registry? Though it had topped over the other Western movie that we will show you, it was controversial and became famous for a unique reason. You'll find out the answer at the end of this video. But first, let's see what we have on our list. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Their planned bank robbery turned astray, so they fled to Bolivia to avoid the law. However, their friendship was tested by the sudden twist of their fates. This film showed what happened after the Pacific train robbery and Cassidy's unconfirmed death. The Searchers. Set in 1956, was the story of a Civil War veteran who vowed to hunt down the Comanches tribe, who slaughtered his family and kidnapped his niece. The movie also showed amazing landscapes that brought the audience back to the American frontier. High Noon. It all started when an ex-marshal's life had changed. Since an outlaw whom he previously arrested escaped from prison and was after his head, the story had fully described the dangers faced by lawmen in that time. Shane. A drifter who had a bloody past wanted to turn a new leaf and live in peace. In his travels, he met a small family to whom he had grown attached. What makes it more interesting is that he had to re-embrace his past to protect his loved ones against a ruthless land grabber.
Before continuing, we would really appreciate a like to this video. If you also want to see similar content in the future, consider subscribing and activating the notification bell.
Red River. A rancher built a cattle empire with his adopted son. But his tyrannical ways caused his son to take the herd away from him and headed to a new railhead in Kansas. The journey towards his destination was filled with wild encounters. Open Range. Circumstances compel a former gunslinger to take up arms again when he and his cattle crew are endangered by the demeanor of a nefarious lawman. In this movie, the main character needed to do all means for his loved one, even returning to his bloody past. My Darling Clementine. It started when the Earp Brothers decided to stop by in a nearby boomtown after a long cattle drive. Then in the morning, their brother was dead and the cattle were rustled, so they swore vengeance on the culprits. Once Upon a Time in the West was about a widow who commissioned 2 hired guns, for the land left by his husband was coveted by a rail tycoon. The confrontation between the tycoon's right hand and the widow's enlisted outlaws would determine who would own the land. Unforgiven. It was about a widower with 2 young kids, and a retired gunfighter gives up everything after marriage. However, things change when the Schofield kid brings him an irrefutable offer. The Wild Bunch was about an outlaw gang who wanted to retire after committing a one-time big-time crime. However, what they got instead was a ploy of deception to lure them and to end them once and for all. The film became famous and controversial for its display of uncut graphic violence. Women and children were being gunned down, depicting the genuine lawlessness of the Wild West. Let's carry on with another amazing discovery about the Wild West. Click to find out amazing Wild West wisdom that would help you even today.